is Marcos Naseru, and I'm the Content Program Manager at Gender Health. Welcome to our session titled Flexibility in Action, Rethinking INGO Partnership with Youth Lead Movements. Gender Health wants to engage more equitable partnership in West and Central Africa. So with the UN Foundation support, we have the opportunity to work with a collective of 33 warriors across 4 countries like Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Burkina Faso, and Togo, to see the more cooperative decision-making to the collective. Today, you will hear from my colleagues, Hermine Bokassa from the INGO Benin, and Sonali Silva, the director of the Year 4, who will share key lesson learning and emerging good practices for INGO to become more flexible and better partners to wireless. Welcome, my name is Marcos Naseru, and I'm the Content Program Manager at INGO.
Hello, thank you so much, everyone. I'm Sonali Silva, the director of Yield Hub, with my colleague.
Yeah, hello, Sonali. Hello, everyone. I'm Hermine Bokassa. I'm program officer of Gender Health. Thank you.
So Hermine works with over 30 youth-led organizations in her home country, and I'm so keen to hear from you on how can we become more flexible partners to local women-led and local youth-led organizations, especially by reducing reporting demands.
Thank you, Sonali. Alors, en tant que jeune activiste et en tant que jeune ayant l'opportunité de travailler avec les organisations locales, organisations locales de sorte à les rendre beaucoup plus flexibles. Et pour construire des partenariats flexibles, je vais me concentrer sur...
La idea es que podamos concentrarnos en 2 puntos. El primero, the first is to be able to build the different support methods with organizations, with local organizations. We have seen different organizations that are limited to associate these roles and by executing different programs. Sometimes we need to change the dynamics to be ready to listen to the different voices of the different participants and to know what really happened on the arena, to know the proposals. We build different support methods, and the role of every person in the collaboration is essential. The second aspect would be to be able to lighten, to readapt the mechanisms of follow-up that we have in the interventions of our organization. Talk about reporting, talk about follow-up that we can do to be able to have a trustful relationship that is going to allow to generate more energy to achieve the purposes of the community more than getting drowned by unfinishable procedures and to lose time that we may have for mobilization.
I just want to reiterate what you said, where
Entonces,
partnership is, and moving from what support, asking ourselves, what support do you need to do this work to make it a reality, rather than can you meet our requirements. So I think I want to repeat that because that's facts, and we need to remember that.
Yes. Based on your experience at Yield, what could be the alternative way to fund the talent, the expertise of youth and women local lead organization?
So at Yield Hub, we are working quite heavily on financing youth-led movements and youth-led movement building, especially given in the recent climate and the ODA cuts. And what we really want to push for is we need to shift our thinking or our intention around this from funding projects to understanding that we're funding people and movements at the grassroots. And sub-awarding, or the infrastructure that we see in financing right now, subcontracting or being at the end of the subcontracting chain, and for most youth-led organizations, it feels like at the grassroots you are implementing someone else's agenda, and that's what we really want to try to avoid. We want to bring into light that the grassroots youth-led organizations, women-led organizations are the real innovators. They are the movement builders and the knowledge experts in this sector. And so some tangible examples that I want the audience to take home, and what we're seeing as successful, funding mechanisms, is of course direct, flexible grants that are long-term, that support that are co-funding, that support the emotional labor that it is required to be more ethical than in your societies. For a lot of these youth-led organizations. We also see success stories in pooled and intermediary regranting models where we allow for trust-based, redistribution among networks within countries and within regions. And of course, I think procurement reforms, like we should really be addressing the fact that smaller collectives, informal organizations, youth-led organizations are not always going to be registered and not always going to be visible, so our metrics for how successful they are and who we fund absolutely has to change. And the last point that I want to say as a good example is shared service funding. So when you can share within your network at the grassroots, either monitoring and evaluation support, legal support, communication supports, we are really allowing networks and movements to form in country where it doesn't feel isolating for any single organizations to kind of have to figure it on their own. Because ultimately, youth work is real work.
Yes,
and
of course, yes.
It deserves to be paid. It deserves to be protected and prioritized. When we fund differently, we can shift from compliance to co-creating, and we can allow for more creativity in this space. Yeah. To you. Yeah.
Thank you, Sonali. Tu l'as dit, le travail des jeunes est un véritable travail qui mérite d'être récompensé. Et merci pour ces belles contributions. Et je pense qu'il est effectivement très, très important de pouvoir reconnaître le talent, l'expertise que les jeunes mettent dans la mise en œuvre des programmes et ne pas simplement les considérer tout le temps comme de simples volontaires et pouvoir vraiment célébrer ce talent qu'ils nous partagent.
That's all we had for today. I mean, we tried our best to be in this space, and here's to more innovative financing for youth and women-led movements. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup pour le temps de nous avoir suivis. Et pour finir, notre message, on sait qu'on n'a pas eu beaucoup pour cette discussion, pour tous les
Y para terminar, and to finish, you can do some contribution in your daily actions to be able to change a line in your way of thinking, in your way of working, so we can move forward in this association to listen more the local associations of young people and communities, to establish more associations with the different actors of change. Thank you very much.